First, let me start off by thanking the President, Lo Roberts. Certainly want to thank you. And also, let me just start off from the very beginning by saying that I certainly share your thoughts. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Black queer lives matter. Black transgender women matter. Black lives matter. We all agree on that. Let me just say that lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer pride. This is Queer Pride Month, all originating from 1969, I think June 28th, in Manhattan from those uprisings. And what brought about the genesis of that, the cause is still very much alive today. And even though the Supreme Court in 2015 said yes to same-sex marriage, and then in this month, no to discrimination against LGBTQ and transgender, those were significant steps. But yet, we still have a long way to go. There's still way too much violence against the LGBTQ plus community, especially as it relates to transgender and people of color. There are much discrimination still. Poverty is still real. Health care, especially with regards to many providers, is real. Public accommodations and housing. And so the fight continues. The same fight, for example, for people like Marsha Johnson, who some refer to as the Rosa Parks of the LGBTQ plus community, or people like Sylvia Rivera, those activists who put forth and stood up then, there's a need now to continue to make that fight. Though I accept the challenge, I recognize that it is important for all of us, even people of color, even for people of color in elected positions, to listen. It is important for us to respond. It is important to recognize that just as much as people fight for liberty, people must fight for equality. Those things must go hand in hand, and we still have a way to go. I want to thank Pride for making the decision not to proceed forward with the march and the rally. I know that was a very hard decision. I don't take it lightly, and I want to thank Lo, want to thank you, want to thank the board, because when it comes to standing up for rights, for the things you believe in, it is still important for people to stand up, march, protest, demonstrate. That is your right. And so I want to thank you for deciding not to do it. It demonstrates the love that this community have, not just for one another, but for people across the board. And so I want to thank you all for that. But just like the LGBTQ plus community have demonstrated that degree of love, not just people in the community, but across the board, the community as a whole must also demonstrate that sort of love to the LGBTQ community. And so we still have a ways to go, even in this city, to make sure that we address the issues of public accommodation, housing. All of those issues still need to be addressed, and I look forward to addressing them before I leave office as the mayor of the city of Houston. So let me just say we're all in this fight together. When I walk past the mirror, I am still an African American. I'm still a black man. I may be the mayor, but I'm still a black man. I was a black man before I became mayor. I'll be a black man after I become mayor. And I will tell you, just because you are a mayor, happens to be black, doesn't mean that you don't deal with discrimination on a regular basis. And so it's real on every single level. I agree, none are free until we're all equal. I agree with that. I agree that it's important to stay healthy because we know that people have lost their lives because of who they are and because of HIV/AIDS. And so we have to do better. I'm committed to you to do better. And then thank you so very, very much for the commitment that you all made today. And let me add, you made it without being ordered. You made it without any sort of mandate. You did it because of the love that you have for the people in this community across the board. And now it's time for the community across the board to demonstrate their love and commitment to this community. I want to thank Councilmember Abby Kamey for standing with me. Congressman Al Green, always good to see you. Thank you. Let me give it to you.